Howdy, I'm Pinata Time, and let me rip this bandage off right away. A YouTuber by the name Media Mementos has already made a video about this show, and it's a great video. In fact, it's what made me want to check out this show and make this video on it. I hope I don't rehash too much here, but I suggest you check out his video and all his other ones too. Okay? Now to the show. Baby Blues is an animated show from the year 2000 that aired on the now dead WB. Later it got reruns on Adult Swim. I first saw it on YouTube when I was younger, and I really didn't get the jokes then, and I didn't see much of it anyway, so years later when Media Mementos brought it up, I revisited it. And boy, it's good. But I'll admit it has many flaws, so I found myself surprised when I was rewatching the only 13 episodes a lot, like more than I expected. But I kind of fell in love with the show. So this is less of a history about the show. Again, watch this video for that, and more just my take on it and my opinion of it. The show stars the married couple, Daryl and Wanda, as they go through life as new parents with their baby named Zoe. Not to mention work, their neighbors, and other day-to-day problems that they find themselves running into. One thing you'll quickly find is that you'll like the side characters more than the main ones, namely their neighbors, the Bittermans. Melinda is the mom who's barely alive thanks to her own family.
Poor Carl. Rodney knows his dad will always love him one notch more than he wants to kill him.
Carl is the dad.
Okay, one more.
You start.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Oh, that's it.
He's the typical gruff man who yells at his annoying kids. Speaking of which, Rodney, his son, is the typical smart-mouthed kid in this sort of show, and he has many a good lines.
You got something on your mind?
Hey, Dad, is it okay?
You wait for me to start talking so you can interrupt.
But you said I had to ask permission if I was gonna do something dangerous.
Is it gonna kill you?
Me? No.
Then quit bothering me! Ah!
Yes, he does sound like Phil. Megan, his sister, finds everything Rodney says and does funny.
Now, Rodney, I don't want you touching any of this equipment.
Okay.
What did I just tell you?
I'm not touching it. Ask Megan. He's not touching it.
Don't push me, Rodney!
What am I doing wrong?
Oh, you know exactly what you're doing wrong.
Yes, she sounds like Lil. Shelby is the mute son who carries a bat with him everywhere.
Court ruled that the kindergarten can't keep Shelby out just because he looks like he's gonna kill somebody. He's gotta actually do it.
I've been mostly playing clips as I talk about these characters, because they say more about these characters than I ever could. Oh, and I guess there is the main family. They really don't have much personality, but that's fine. There's also Busy, who's the babysitter, and Kevin, who has an amazing catchphrase.
Hey, Captain. Hey, Captain. Morning, Captain.
But is also a typical quote-unquote ladies' man, who acts in that sort of creepy way, but he still gets many of the best lines.
Hey, Captain. What you doing?
Hey, Kenny. I'm the chairman of my neighborhood Easter egg hunt, and I'm drawing a map of good hiding places.
Oh, my God, you're serious!
The episode's plots are typically interesting ideas, but sometimes fall by the end. But not always. I would say I generally like them. Really, it's the jokes that hold up the show, and they're really good. Quite funny, in fact.
Mr. McPherson, Shelby has to go bathroom. Do you mind? He needs someone to pull down his pants, lift him up, and hold it.
Hold it?
He won't let go of his bat.
Music's really good, too. It tends to use more copyrighted songs during montages or scenes, which I like, especially their go-to band, Bare Naked Ladies. Who I became a big fan of after watching the show. The theme song itself, It's All Been Done, is amazing, and visually, it's memorable. And I have to talk about the animation, it's really good. Sometimes it tries to mix the CGI and 2D together in a way that does look pretty dated, but it's very charming, and most of the time it just looks really good. Not only with impressive shots like this, but sometimes when they're talking, they just move all over the screen. Some shots barely have them standing still.
Are those stitches?
Sure. Just a couple of neck bolts and the monster's complete.
What?
What? I'm kidding you!
I wonder if this is cell animated or digital. Either way, it tends to look really good. There are a few shots where you can see below them, you know, like where they stopped drawing the character or whatever. But there's so few, and it certainly doesn't hurt the show. I just thought it was interesting, and I should point it out, because I find that sort of thing very fascinating. So I was curious if I could find any old ads for it from the WB or even Adult Swim, and
It's sweet and sassy. Johnny seems friendly.
they're not always very good. But the Adult Swim ones were pretty typical Adult Swim ads, and so they're good, funny, and And seeing as there's only 13 episodes of this show, I thought I would quickly go over each of them, as I've seen them all, and I think that'd be interesting. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that for this particular show. Episode 1, God forbid. Daryl and Wanda decide they need to pick a guardian for their baby if something were to happen to them. It's a pretty good way to start the show, and explains the characters, especially showing the Bittermans in their weird but sometimes even sweet ways. I like this one.
Can't I even have a cookie?
Not until Zoe finishes her tea.
How will we know? It's pretend tea.
Father, you're making a scene.
Episode 2, Busy moves in. After Wanda starts to fear she's getting too old to have fun, and Busy starts to get annoyed with her life, they decide to start hanging out, leaving Daryl stuck with the consequences.
Those two.
Both of them?
That one's my wife. That one's crashing at my house.
No wonder they don't know right from wrong.
This one's a little weird, especially after how good the first episode was at describing the characters and plots the show uses. It's not bad, not at all, but the ending is especially weird for this show. It turns into a parody of Scooby-Doo / generic after-school specials, and Drew Carey shows up.
Wow, you know Drew Carey?
I know him all right. He's my mom's stupid boyfriend.
Your mother and I were very worried about you.
Why can't you just leave me alone, Drew?
Like, it is funny, but if I only saw this episode, I would have been really thrown off by the style of this show, because this isn't normally how the show is, so. It also ends with a very, very funny joke.
Mr. Carey, could I ask you a question?
Always happy to help the kids.
Like, why is the sky?
You mean why is it blue?
No, like, why is it?
Well, that really doesn't make any sense.
You're supposed to be the answer, man.
What's a stupid question?
I bet Fraser would know.
Daryl, you want to take the wheel?
Episode 3, Rodney has two daddies. Daryl starts teaching Rodney how to cook after he finds him secretly cooking behind his own dad's back. So this is what I'm talking about with good starts but kinda lame endings. Like, it's a really good episode. It also has a lot to delve into, but it ends with a lame cooking show competition that isn't all bad, but for how well they set up the plot, ending on this note is a letdown. And as bad as I made it sound, I really do like this episode. Rodney having trouble with his dad only to go to Daryl is interesting, and I do like how Rodney likes both of them by the end, but it was weird to end on that game show. I didn't even cover how much this episode has in it, so if you want to check the show out, I suggest the first episode and then this one. Again, not the second one's bad, but I think skipping to this third one if you just want to get a taste of this show is a good idea. Episode 4, Hurting Inside. Daryl starts to lose faith in humanity after noticing how girls only like jerks. This episode does actually bring up interesting points, especially the ending, but it's not the best the show has to offer. Certainly isn't bad, but it's just there. Episode 5, The Bitterman Hillbillies. After Carl becomes the head groundkeeper at a local baseball team, he and his family have enough money to do whatever they want, and it starts to affect Daryl and Wanda's life. Pretty good one. Really don't have much to say about this one, but it's good. Episode 6, World's Greatest Dad. Daryl, Carl, and their kids go to a children's arcade. While Wanda thinks they must be having a horrible time, Daryl finds a particular performer quite attractive. This one might be my personal least favorite episode. Not that it's that bad, but it's focused on the birthday girl, as the main plot is a little weird, but even then I still enjoy many of the jokes. Episode 7, Rodney Moves In. After Daryl and Wanda find that Zoe only sleeps with Rodney, they have him sleep over every night. Another episode that's not really a favorite. It goes into some weird ideas, but again, still has those jokes, and certain characters can have really cute moments, like Megan missing Rodney. Episode 8, Ugly Zoe. Wanda's excited to do an interview with a preschool for Zoe, until one thing after another goes wrong, leading her to take a different baby pretending to be her to the interview. This episode has very interesting ideas, namely that appearances matter more than how kind you are. It covers this amazingly by having Wanda take a different baby to get Zoe into school, and after Daryl is disappointed by her, Wanda has this short speech about why looks do matter, so Daryl does the same thing right in front of her by saying Busy is his wife, so his boss will like him.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Hello? Oh, yes, sir. We'll be there.
What was that?
Old man Thompson's hosting a party for up-and-coming employees.
Who are you calling?
My wife.
That's clever, but it ends with Wanda learning her lesson in a very funny line.
Mrs. McPherson, Zoe needed a new diaper. Are you aware she has a penis?
But Daryl doesn't really learn anything. Maybe that's the point, but that is a little weird. However, it's still a good episode. Episode 9, Wanda Proof. After Wanda takes Zoe to the hospital, she worries Daryl won't trust her with the baby anymore. Funny episode. Again, one with not much to say, but as long as the show's funny, that's a good thing. Episode 10, The Bad Family. After the neighborhood mistakes Daryl and Wanda's actions, they believe they're a bad family. Not the best, with some weird ideas and plot points, but not horrible. Again, as long as it's funny, it's okay. Episode 11, Teddy Cam. Daryl fears Wanda is cheating on him for Busy's new boyfriend, so Carl gives him a teddy bear with a camera in it. At this point, I feel like I'm really repeating myself too much. It's okay, but not the best, with good jokes. What a surprise! Episode 12, A Baby Blues Christmas Special. Flashback to the first few nights with Zoe, showing how hard it is for them to raise a baby along with the stress Christmas brings. One of the more character-heavy episodes, just showing how life as a new parent can be hard. Like I said, it's more character-heavy. It's actually giving Daryl and Wanda a character a bit more, and a lot of funny and cute moments. Episode 13, Wanda moves up. Wanda decides she wants to start a business, and Daryl wants to be at home, switching their lives. Pretty good. Again, good jokes and funny plot points, like Melinda's knick-knack shop.
What are these?
Novelty clamshells. See? There's Professor Clamshell, Sheriff Clamshell,
Oh.
Millionaire Clamshell, Kaiser Clamshell,
Oh.
and the Archbishop of Clampterbury. It's gonna be murder keeping these on the shelves.
Oh, desk plaques. These are cute. I wish I was drinking.
It's funny because it's a hurtful exaggeration.
And the ending with them selling their company to Disney.
So are you really okay walking away from all this?
We've been thinking about selling anyway. We got an offer from the Disney people.
No kidding.
Yeah, they're gonna add a daycare center and put up pictures of all their beloved characters.
That's great.
Plus, they said if we didn't accept, they'd crush us.
So that is a short, tiny little description and review of all 13 Baby Blue episodes. I hope you've learned all you needed to know about this thing you've probably never heard of. So as I mentioned, there's only 13 episodes of this show out there, and I believe it was the views and general reviews that got it canned, but people say there's a season 2 out there that just hasn't aired, and I'm not sure. In the Q&A section on a Baby Blues website, it says, it was cancelled after 1 season. We actually produced 2 seasons worth of shows, 26 episodes, but only one was ever broadcast. Reruns of the first 13 shows can be seen around the world on various networks, including the Cartoon Network. So does produced really mean fully made, or did they just give them some money to write some scripts? I'm not fully convinced that there is a finished season 2. Don't get me wrong, I would love that. If it's not clear, I do really like this show, and I wish there were more of it. I just think produced could mean a lot of things. Even if there's just scripts, I would love to see those come out too. But what would I want in a season 2? More of the same, pretty much. Well, maybe change the jokes just a little, but really, season 2 could have just been the same as season 1, but slightly better. I think that would have been great. It really is a shame it ended so soon. So do I suggest you watch Baby Blues? Yeah. At some points I may have seemed kind of negative towards the show, and while I do think it has some flaws, I really do enjoy it, and I suggest you watch it. Its humor and general charm helps it the most. I think it should be remembered for being a funny sitcom. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, thank you for watching. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded, I just haven't really had that groove to do it, but I did today. I wrote this script, and I voiced this script, and I'm proud of this script, and I hope you all liked the video. Yeah, if you did, please let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't. I want to hear whatever feedback you got for me, any suggestions of how I can improve. Love to hear it all. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good day.